Hello everybody. In this session, we will study a point transmission loss as a function of plant generation. We know that practically the units used in thermal power plant may not be at one location. Hence, there will be transmission loss taking place, and also the thermal power plants may not be close to the load. Hence, there will be transmission loss that will take place in the system. We need to express this transmission loss as a function of plant generation. So, we will study an example of two plants which are supplying power to a load. This is a single line diagram of two power plants, plant 1 and plant 2, supplying power to the load. So as you can see here, plant 1 it is connecting to a bus A, plant 2 is connected to bus B. There is an intermediate bus which is shown as bus C. Load is connected at bus D and there is a transmission line between bus C and D. So there are basically three transmission lines between bus A and C, between bus B and C, and between bus C and D. The current that is supplied by plant 1 it is I1, whereas the current supplied by plant 2 it is I2. Now these three transmission lines AC, BC and CD will have some resistance. So therefore when current flows through this transmission line there will be power loss. And we need to express that power loss in terms of plant generation P1 and P2. So let RAC, RBC, RCD are resistances of transmission lines AC, BC and CD respectively. We can write the transmission losses as PL equal to 3 times I1 square RAC plus 3 times I2 square RBC plus 3 times I1 plus I2 square RCD. Now these vertical two lines indicate the magnitude. So magnitude of I1, magnitude of I2 and magnitude of I1 plus I2. Now how we got this equation? Now we know that power loss can be expressed as I square into R if there is a one conductor. Now as practical system is three-phase system, so here we have to multiply by 3. So power loss in line AC will be 3 times I1 square RAC, that is given here. Power loss in line BC will be 3 times I2 square RBC, that is given here. And power loss in line CD, it will be equal to 3 times current flowing through line CD square into RCD. Now how much is current flowing through line CD? Now if we apply KCL at this particular node, then this current flowing from C to D, it will be I1 plus I2, because by Kirchhoff's current law, the algebraic sum of incoming current will be equal to the algebraic sum of outgoing current. So this outgoing current will be sum of I1 and I2. So finally we will get this equation. Let us call it as equation number 1. Now rewriting, PL equal to 3 times I1 square RAC plus 3 I2 square RBC plus 3 I1 plus I2 square RCD. Now let us assume that currents I1 and I2 are in phase. Okay. Now if these currents are in phase, then we can write mod of I1 plus I2 as mod I1 plus mod I2. Now remember, we can write this equation only if I1 and I2 are in phase. Let us call it as equation number 2. Now in place of mod I1 plus I2, we can substitute mod I1 plus mod I2. Substituting this equation number 2 in equation number 1, and we know that a plus b whole square will be equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So using that property, we can write PL equal to 3 I1 square RAC as it is plus 3 I2 square RBC as it is plus 3. Now square of this is I1 square plus 2 I1 I2 plus I2 square into RCD. Now let us simplify this. So PL equal to 3 I1 square RAC plus 3 I2 square RBC plus 3 I1 square RCD plus 6 I1 I2 RCD plus 3 I2 square RCD. Now we can take this 3I1 square common. So we can write PL equal to 3I1 square common in bracket RAC plus RCD. Similarly, between these two terms, we can take 3I2 square common. So it will be 3I2 square in bracket RBC plus RCD plus remaining term is 6I1 I2 RCD. Now let us call it as equation number 3. Now let capital P1 is 3-phase power output of plant 1 at power factor cos phi 1 and it is a active power output. P2 3-phase power output of plant 2 at power factor cos phi 2 and let us call V1 and V2 as bus line voltages at the plants. So we can write I1 as P1 divided by root 3 V1 cos phi. Okay. Now basically we know that 3-phase active power is given by root 3 VLIL cos phi, where VL and IL are the line voltages and current respectively. So we have used that equation to rewrite equation of current I1. Similarly, we can write I2 as P2 divided by root 3 mod V2 cos phi 2. Let us call it as equation number 5. Now rewriting equation number 3 PL, this is equation number 3 that we have seen in the last slide. Now substituting values of I1 and I2 in this particular equation. So what we can write? So PL equal to 3 into I1 square, that is P1 square divided by 3 V1 square cos square phi 1 into RAC plus RCD as it is plus 3 I2 square, that is P2 square by 3 V2 square cos square phi 2 into this term RBC plus RCD as it is plus 6 as it is I1 into I2, that is P1 P2 divided by root 3 into root 3 will be 3 V1 V2 cos phi 1 cos phi 2 into RCD. So this is the new equation of PL by substituting values of I1 and I2. Now we will rewrite this equation as follows. So PL is equal to P1 square RAC plus RCD divided by V1 square cos square phi 1 plus 2P1 P2 RCD by V1 V2 cos phi 1 cos phi 2 plus P2 square RBC plus RCD divided by V2 square cos square phi 2. So just we have written. Now above equation we can again rewrite in terms of loss coefficients or B coefficients as follows. PL is equal to P1 square B11 plus 2P1 P2 B12 plus P2 square B22, where what is B11, B12, B22? These are the loss coefficients or B coefficients. So B11 equal to RAC plus RCD divided by V1 square cos square phi 1. B22 is this term RBC plus RCD divided by V2 square cos square phi 2, and this term B12 is nothing but RCD divided by V1 V2 cos phi 1 cos phi 2. Now rewriting B11 B22 B12 and calling it as equation number 6. Terms B11, B12, B22 are called as loss coefficients or B coefficients. Now what will be unit of this B coefficient? Now if we see, B coefficients are proportional to resistance and inversely proportional to square of voltage and square of power factor. Power factor is a number, so therefore it will not have any unit. If you consider the B coefficient, so basically it is proportional to resistance and inversely proportional to the square of voltage, or we can say that B coefficients are inversely proportional to the power, because power is nothing but V square by R, and here we are getting R by V square. So B coefficient will be 1 upon V square by R. So B coefficient will have a unit which is reciprocal of unit of power. Now unit of power SI unit is watt, so therefore B coefficient will have unit of watt inverse. If the voltages in above equation are line to line voltages in kV and line resistances are in ohm, then the units for the loss coefficients will be in reciprocal megawatt, that is megawatt raised to minus 1. So if we assume the SI unit, then B coefficient will have a unit of watt raised to minus 1, but practically in power system voltages are in kV. So therefore if you take square of kilo, so it will be mega. So therefore B coefficient will have a unit of megawatt raised to minus 1. If all the quantities are in per unit, then loss coefficients will also be in per unit, because whenever we use the per unit representation, then we will get same. If all the quantities are in per unit, then loss coefficients will also be in per unit, because whenever we use the per unit representation, then this B coefficient will also be in per unit. It is seen that loss coefficients depend on source voltage and power factor. The source voltages and power factors depend on and vary with system operating conditions. However, B coefficients are constants. It is sufficiently accurate to calculate B coefficient for some average operating conditions and use these values for economic loading for all the load variables. However, for large load variations or for major system changes, several sets of loss coefficients are used. One more thing, rewriting equation number 5, that is PL equal to P1 square B11 plus 2 P1 P2 B12 plus P2 square B22. In equation 5, with 3-phase powers in megawatt, PL will also be in megawatt. Why? Because here it is megawatt square and B coefficients are nothing but megawatt raised to minus 1 or 1 upon megawatt. So this megawatt square into 1 upon megawatt. So megawatt will get cancelled and PL will be left with megawatt. So this is about transmission loss as function of plant generation. So I hope you have understood how to derive the expression for transmission loss in terms of loss coefficient. You have also understood what are the loss coefficients, what are the units of loss coefficients, how to calculate the loss coefficients, and what is the application of loss coefficients in the calculation of transmission loss. Thank you.